U.S.Avengers number 1. Written by Al Ewing, art by Paco Medina. For everyone who saw my ComicSins on this, you can already guess that I did not like this book. But obviously I just can't leave it at that, because ever since I made that video, and have talked more about the book, something really struck me. So, best way to talk about this is a first issues now, sort of. You can probably also guess that by the name of this video. But first, let's go with a plot recap. Roberto da Costa remade the New Avengers to be patriotic because instead of Thunderbolt Ross as the Red Hulk, we now have a Yosemite Sam stereotypical general, General Maverick. Yeah. The first villains they face are part of the no longer secret empire, which I think was meant to come out during the whole secret empire thing, or at least closer to it, that comes out later this year. Intercut throughout the whole thing are vignettes of the main cast giving the We Are America sort of videos, but not even. It's not even hilariously bad, it's just blatant pandering. But I'll get to that because I know so many people are already going, you just don't like it because you hate diversity. But of course, this whole plot doesn't matter at all, as at the end, Danielle Cage as Captain America from Mega Man's universe, get it because she's from 20XX, comes to say that she needs help as the Golden Skull. Her big villain is off somewhere doing some really stupid things, getting an army together that look like pirates. Right, so as I said at the beginning, I did not like this comic remotely. The art was passable to good in some spots. The writing was all over the place, ignoring characterization from New Avengers to go, I'm an Asian lesbian from a broken home whose daddies died that didn't have such a great high school life. Just as an example. It's the best example of why there are a ton of people who dislike these sorts of books. There's nothing to grab you as a reader to want to see these people in more than one issue, which is kind of the fundamental thing with your first issue kind of needing to do. And it's even worse when you think that this isn't a brand new series. It's just a name change from the New Avengers with some minor changes. But there's a reason I actually decided I needed to talk about this. A lot of people do know that I don't try making negative videos. Unless it's a rant, then it's generally directed towards negativity or clarification of controversial subject matter. Either way. But there is a reason that I actually decided to talk about this. This is a bad book, but I think that's the point. See, Al Ewing is by no means a bad writer. Hell, I'd say he's downright good sometimes. That's why I was puzzled by this, honestly. But then the pieces started coming together as I talked about it more, and I'm going to acknowledge I'm way overthinking this. Let's start with the whole framing device of Roberto da Costa having everyone make videos going, this is who I am, on a very diverse and basic level that overlooks who I am as a person and into what makes me marketable. It's the framing device to basically introduce the characters to new readers, but it's done in the current Marvel marketing style of, here's why I'm diverse. Then at the end of Sam Guthrie's video, he actually asked Roberto what the hell are all these bells and whistles and hoorah are about. Roberto doesn't answer directly, rather he decides to shrug off the why in a very reminiscent way that many people who ask these sorts of questions get the same hand wave. Instead of answering, Roberto tries to pull a, well, we're all Americans, don't have that attitude. Basically, Roberto sidesteps the marketing tactic with shutting Sam's question down with representation matters, not the quality of the representation. Then there's the villains. Quite literally, the villains have an over-the-top plan and an over-the-top attitude about how now they can do whatever they want for some reason. You can take away that this may be a political point about representation, or generally anything like that, but the villains don't have to be overblown or unbelievable in their rhetoric to reflect that agenda. Literally, this is straw man versus marketing tool, with everyone else being lost in the middle. You're just saying that because you're a white male comic reader, so you just hate that there's minorities on the team. I can hear some people saying, and that's not true at all. Look back at my first issues, be they the new ones or the ones I did a couple years ago when I started. I gave Nick Spencer's Sam Wilson a read it, you may like it. I actually thought Captain America Hydra reveal was a unique direction. Granted, I'm very much cooled on that idea, due to it going a safe and bland direction to me. It's very rarely a matter of, I'm for diversity but stop being diverse, as many people who do have that complaint are strawmanned into. Obviously, there's the jackasses and hearsay readers who dislike what they hear, so they hate it. But even then, the main argument is, I am for diversity, so write it better. But now I'm strawmanning those that disagree with my opinion on this. Comics are entertainment, and two people can read the same comic and come out with different likes or dislikes. They can see Jane Foster as Thor as a great step forward because yay boobs, while others can see that as hand-waving off Thor's given name to someone else as a cheap marketing ploy, especially when you announce it on The View. At that stage, representation and diversity becomes a gimmick to sell books, not to be representative. It's the tokenism of the 90s, just with a nice suit on it. And that's what I read into in this book. It's playing up the Marvel marketing plan so hardcore that it goes into parody. Roberto is making their diversity a gimmick to sell the team, not to show everyone is their character. So on the surface, this may look like a kind of crappy satire of the whole America, fuck yeah, patriotism mentality, but I see something more in there that I can again be overanalyzing for. And even if you do see that, maybe you say that maybe it's not meant at Marvel at all, but just a blanket view of clickbaity headlines that turn real social interests into gimmicks meant solely for a profit. Hey, who knows? Sometimes people can't see the sailboat. But this isn't me making a video stating that this is what it is and everyone else is wrong. This is, as most of my rants tend to be, an op-ed piece. So let's discuss it. You agree with me or disagree with me? I'd love to know your thoughts about this comic and why in the comments section below. And given enough legitimate disagreements and counters, I'll even make a counterpoint video to this, using what you, the viewers, say. So that's all for today. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Check out my other channels, ComicSins and A Comic a Day. Like the Archivist Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, and we do have a Patreon. So go and pledge on that. As always, stay golden, Inklings.